So, good day everyone, and also Ma'am Tichi of our instructor. My name is Iris Argalianos, and now our discussion for today is about the excerpts from the Family Code of the Philippines. So, what is the Family Code of the Philippines? The Family Code of the Philippines Executive Order number 209 was signed into law by then President Corazon Aquino on July 6, 1987. Then, so, title number 9, Parental Authority, Chapter 1, General Provisions. Article 209 pursuant to the natural right and duty of parents over the person and property of their unemancipated children or kaning unemancipated children muning mga bata nga mga underage pa nga gipatrabaho na. And parental authority and responsibility shall include the caring for and rearing of the such children for effect, consciousness, and efficiency in the development of their moral, mental, and physical character and well-being. So, during article, this act is nag-ingon dirian na responsibility gyud sa mga parents towards their children because they have a duty to take care of them. They have to duty or responsibility and give them or nurture them, giving respectful manners and of course to develop their moral, mental, and physical character and being respectful towards others. So, ang parents man gyud ang mo guide ani nga kaning nga mga bataan na basta mga ingani nga pa nga mga edad. In Article 210, parental authority and responsibility may not be renounced or transferred except in the cases authorized by law. So it means that this authority it is includes by the family, but if the law so that this family is not effective or kibali na yung mga katuling giigan. Because of this, what we call this separatement no, so the law will the parental authority will have this law that give them opportunity that a children will choose or ang children na ikarapatan na mupili kung unsay the best sa ilaha or unsay the best or kibali na sila choose nga mupili nga moagto sila sa orphanage or have the being belong to their grandparents to mag-alaga or to care. In Article 211, the family and the mother shall jointly exercise parental authority over the persons of their common children. In the case of disagreement, the father's decision shall prevail unless there is judicial order to the contrary. So it means if there are conflict between two parents, so there is a judgment. It means the father, maingon ang father nga kaning bata ako ani. So maingon pod ang iyahang mother nga ang mama nga kaning bata sa ako ara ni. So it means if the children will choose the what is best for them. So ang bata nay mupaigo kung asa sila gusto or asa sila mupili or the best sa ilaha. So in Article 212, in case of absence or death of either parent, the parent shall continue exercising parental authority. The remarriage of the surviving parent shall not affect the parental authority over the children unless the court appoints another person to be the guardian of the person or property of the children. So, diri sa Article 212 means that if one of your parents is die, so there are opportunity that single parent will remarriage again or magminyo otro para sa and there is no bad affection and dili pud ni nakakasama sa ilaha to the parental authority because it's legal. because gusto ra nila nga kanang naabitoy karamay sa ilang pagpamuyo. That's why for the goodness of the family. In Article 213, in case of separation of the parents, parental authority shall be exercised by the parent designated by the court. The court shall take into account all relevant considerations, especially the choice of the child over 7 years of age, unless parent whose sin is unfit. No child under 7 years of age shall be separated from the mother unless the court finds compelling reasons otherwise. So it means there is sa Article 213, if there is a conflict between sa mama ug papa because of the sa ilahang paghihiwalay or kibali sa ilang separation, sa ilang mga conflict sa ilang pagselos or that situation not good. So there's a opportunity that ang bata to he became 7 years old child, she have opportunity na mupili either sa iyahang mother or father, but still mother have privilege to take care of his or her children because she is a mother man gyud dapat. Pero unless also the court compile that you are not worthy to be a mother because you are a bad experience or bad doings of their child, you are drugs addict, something like that, or imong ginapasakitan physical. So it means the child will be cared by the what we call this worthy person that gives mahatag og love, care, something like that. So next is Article 214. In case of death, absence, or unsuitability of parents, substitute parental authority shall be exercised by the surviving grandparent in case of survived the one designated by the court, taking into account the same consideration mentioned in the preceding articles, shall exercise the authority. So diri so kaning in case of death, absence, or unsuitability of parents, substitute parental authority. So diri it means lolo and lola is very significant to our lives, of course, di ba? Sa kasagaran karon nang gipuyo ra ba sa mga sa ilahang mga grandparent. Then in case several survive the one of designated by our court, so in case several survive the one designated, so it means that we have experience that other people experience also, that they have being homeless because one of their parent die in every situation, but still the court of authority, if the parent, mother, and father die both, so the authority of parental authority is still there. So if the child is alive, they have guardians. Then pwede po sila mo agto silang auntie, uncle, lola at lolo, and that's good, no? Child will be protected by the family or relatives. So that's very important because this according to the Article 214, kung naalala nyo pa katong Article 214 nga, magto sa ilahang grandparent or silang lolo at lola. In Article 215, no descendant shall be compelled in a criminal case to a testimony is indispensable in a crime against the descendant or by our parents against other. So it means that if your parent is a bad person because she is or he commit a crime or nakapatay or there's something about her, so of course, and someone takes a testimony that parents is not good for the child because they are abusing the child. So the grandparents is there so they can have this kind of care and love, harmonious relationship towards parents, grandparents, the child, and also if there are no other choices because grandparents is also bad, so there are orphanage to help the children to develop themselves morally and mentally and physically. So na orphanage nga mutanggap sa ilaha. Then chapter 2, substitute and special parental authority. Article 216, in default of parents or judicially appointed guardian, the following persons shall exercise substitute parental authority over the child in order indicated. Number 1, the surviving guardian as provided in Article 214 katong sa lola at lolo. Then number 2, the oldest brother or sister over 21 years old of age unless unfit or disqualified. So it means that even though you are already 24 but you are not fit because you don't know how to care a child or your sister or brother and you are not qualified. Balag na ko ng kag-edad pero di gapon nga kabalo nga mo take care sa imong igsoon, so di ka qualified, di ka fit sa ilahang kinahanglan. So Article 217, in case of foundings abandoned, neglected, or abused children and other children similarly situated, parental authority shall be entrusted in summary judicial proceedings to heads of children's homes like orphanage and similar institution duly accredited by the proper government of each. So it means that if I belong to the abusive family, so there are proceedly that the government or the Department of Social Welfare for the Children or this WD will help me to develop and to have a special homes like orphanage. They will help to nurture knowledge, learning, to free education, depending to the foundation of the government belongs to that agency. Of course, some of we have experienced them because lot of people have no family, even like for example, they live on outside sleeping, there's something like that para nang sa mga kalsada because of the family problem that's very broken, and I belong to the family broken. I know that if you are belong to the family that abuse them, then the better you find ways go to the DSW and approach them to part of their orphanage. Magtuka nga to nga dito sa ilaha. Then Article 218. The school, its administrators and teachers, or the individual entity or institution engaged in children care shall have special parental authority and responsibility over the minor child while under their supervision, instruction, or custody. So, we already experience parental authority in school matter, especially in elementary, of course in high school, as well as college and kindergarten. When we are kindergarten, we have this teacher who teach us the mother tongue. She gives her love towards us. She teaches us. He gives activities that's nurture or knowledge and have the social harmony towards other students or children, something like that. It is the special parental authority. Also in school, we experience that all of us. Sa atong elementary, di ba? Ang teacher man gyud ang nag-guide sa ato kung saan nato pag nurtures atong mga knowledge. In Article 219, those given the authority and responsibility under the preceding articles shall be principally and solidarity liable for damage caused the acts or omissions of the unsupported minor, the parents or judicial guardians of the persons exercising substitutes parental authority over said minor shall be subsidiarable. So, diri sa Article 219, so for example, we experience what we call this, you are 13 years old, for example, 13 years old mother, then you are so very young pa, no? Bata pa yun. So, you have this hesitation or doubts to yourself to raise your child even though you are 13 years old. So, na kay mga hesitation nga kung kaya ba ni mo buhion, kaya ba nako ni buhion akong bata, kay bata pa manggid ko. So, to yourself to raise your child even though you are 13 years old. So, you are not reliable or worthy to raise your child. So better that you will have this fine and as a solution, or the government or the parental authority that act will help you to find ways. What is better? Maybe they will help you to buy a finding for another family for that because you can't afford to raise them, or maybe there is a teaching seminars for the young mother or young father. Then chapter 3, effect parental authority upon the persons of the children. The parents and those exercising Article 220, the parents and those exercising parental authority shall have with respect to their unemancipated children or wards the following rights and duty. So, to keep them in their company, to support, educate, and instruct them by right precept and good example, and to provide for their bringing in keeping with their means, right, or educate as a student or a child, to give them with love and affection, advice and counsel, companionship and understanding. Then, to provide them with moral and spiritual guidance, inculcate in them honesty, integrity, self-discipline, self-reliance, industry, and thrift. Stimulate them interest and inspire them compliance with the duties of citizenship. It means that you will ask your or observe your child what is interest in education in any matter to enhance, protect, preserve and maintain their physical and mental health all times, to furnish them with good and wholesome educational materials, supervise their activities, recreation, association with their protect them from bad company and prevent them from acquiring habits detrimental to their health, studies, and morals. So it means, as a parent, have the advice and being observed to help them, to monitor them, especially to their friends, if your friend good to your child or not, to represent them in all matters affecting them interest. Of course, you will ask, as a mother or parents, you will ask them what is your dream to your future, to become a police or a teacher ba, nurse, and etc. That's it. As a parents, you have to advise and responsibility to ask them. So as a parents, you should to kanang support them kung unsa ilahang gusto. Then, to demand them from the respect and obedience. It your responsibility as parents to teach them how to be obedient, to impose discipline on them as may be required under the circumstances, not just school but also start at home, the respectful and well disciplined. Then, to perform such other duties are imposed by law upon parents and guardian. So Article 221, parents and other person exercising parental authority shall be civically liable for injuries and damages caused by the acts and omissions of their unemancipated children living in their company and other parental authority, subject to the appropriate defense provided by law. In Article 222, the courts may appoint a guardian of the child, properly of a guardian, and light him with the best interest of child so require. So diri sa kanang article article 222, so in the wealthy people or dato nga tao, they have this attorney if their parents already die, and they will have attorney to have this opportunity to give the information who is deserved to that pamana, and of course the guardian if they have property. Then that's it. If you have a child and you give property to child because this your presence for them. And Article 223, the parents or in their absence of their incapacity, the individual entity or institution exercising parental authority may petition the proper court of the place where the child resides for an order providing for disciplinary measures over the child be entitled to the assistance of counsel either of his choice or appointed by the court, and a summary hearing shall be conducted wherein the petitioner and the child shall be heard. So it means that the court, if the child or children will have these questions, why their parents not around as always? So it means that they have opportunity of if someone observed them na wala talagang parents nila, so they will ask to help them the court so that there are a solution between that families. Maybe their business ay busy lang talaga sa trabaho, or maybe they don't love for the children. So there are parental authority to handle that act problem. So Article 224, the measures referred to in the preceding article may include the commitment of the child or not more than 30 days in accredited by proper government agency. So it means that the child also have this proper government help now. So even though you are a child, there is a proper government to help you if the government is accredited. So next is Chapter 4, effect of parental authority upon the property of the children. So Article 225, the father and the mother shall jointly exercise legal guardianship over the property of their unemancipated common child without the necessity of a court appointment. In appointment, there are obligation between the father and mother to support the children, the parents concerned, but not less than 10% from or 10% of the value of the property or annual income to the guarantee the performance of the obligations prescribed for general guardians, where the market value of the property, that annual income child in scale 50,000 pesos, the parent concerned shall be required to furnish the bond in such amount as the court determine. Uh, the parental authority, they have these rules and regulations all about the caring the children. There is the law, their obligations, the policy that parents should follow. So there is Article 226, the property of the unemancipated child earned or acquired with his work or industry or maybe onerous or gratuitous title shall belong to the child in ownership and shall devoted exclusive otherwise. So there is at Article 226, kaning an emancipated child is these people na underage pa nga nagtrabaho na. If their parents is not around or already die and they have a wealthy, so the child or have this serve ownership, especially is a business. Article 227, if the parents entrust the management or administration of any of their properties to an unemancipated child, or net proceeds of such property shall belong to the owner. If he know or the parents know that management or administrator didn't have this full support or full trust to give the authority to give property to the child, so the parents also have this power to entrust that management and have another options to give the property to the real owner. So chap next is chapter 5, suspension or termination parental authority. Article 228, parental authority terminates permanently. There are three. First, upon the death of the parents. So of course, if you are dead, then you don't have a authority taking good care of your child, of course. Number 2, upon the death of the child, Of course, how can you handle the authority taking a child if you don't have a child? Diba? Then number 3, upon the emancipation of the child. In Article 229, unless subsequently revived by a final judgment, parental authority also terminate. There are the following. First, upon the death of the uh, upon the upon adoption of the child. Then, upon the appointment of a general guardian. 3. Upon judicial declaration or abandonment of the child in case filed for the purpose. 4. Upon the final judgment of the competent court divesting the party concerned of parental authority, or upon the judicial declaration of absence or incapacity of person exercising parental authority. So, kaning lima, it means ani that if parents is not what we call this unpresent or unloved the children, something like that. So kani dire sa lima is kana bitong parents nga kulang sa paglove sa ilahang mga anak. So next is Article 230, parental authority suspended upon conviction of the parent, the person exercising the same of a crime which carries with in the penalty civil interdiction. Then the authority is automatically reinstated upon service of the penalty of upon pardon or amnesty of the offender. So it means that, do you familiar to the movies of Abusan that her daughter, it means that there is a crime there. He have her daughter and have a child of it, and that's the crime. It means the parental authority will suspend and give what we call this automatically payment for her father because of the crime he made. So sa garam man gid sa Philippines nga nay mga nahitabo nga ana nga kanang unayon nila ang kilahang kagalingong anak sa mga ingana. Then Article 231, the court in action filed for the purpose or in a related case may be also suspend parental authority if the parent or the person exercising the same first treats the child with excessive hardness or currently, even though you have a real child, then you real them like a dog, you punish them, or kibali gituring ra nimo siya nga parang hayop, more more even though didn't have a problem, pati wala siya sala, imo hagyapon siyang ginapasikitan, so that's not good. The suspension or authority to taking good care of your child is terminate or permanently. Then gives the child competing orders, counsel or example, compels the child to beg or subject the child or allows him to be subjected or lasciviousness. Article 232. If the person exercising parental authority has such person shall be permanently deprived by the court of such authority. So, there is Article 232 because sexual abuse is very crime of big crime, and also that is one of the cases we experience in every country and a society. Also, usually in the Philippines, there's a lot of that. Possible the child will die because of the cruelty doing by the families or relatives or whatsoever. So, sagaran man gyud diri sa atong Philippines is daghay mga cases nga nga experience nga hitabo ani sa mga sexual abuse, pati nga mga kaugalingon nilang anak or kaugalingon nilang kanang parente is ilang ginahilabtan. Then Article 233, the person exercising substitute parental authority shall have the same authority over the person of the child as the parents, no case shall the school administrator, teacher, or individual engage in child care and exercising especially authority inflict corporal punishment upon the child. So, explain ano niya is even though the school or the teacher as well as school administrators or other person, example, her auntie being of a working student and that person is abusing you in that is not good even though they have parental authority because of course the government will give authority to another guardian, but if that another guardian will also abusing you, then of course the parental authority having an authority to taking care of the child or a young child will be suspended because of the behavior or that affect a mental or physical appearance of the child development. Thank you for the listening. Done ako, ma'am.